Buy my shirt. Buy my hat. Buy it all.
I also have a playlist.
Stream it now.
No. That's right. I get to do that today because I have production. Hey everybody, what's up? If you're new to my channel, my name is Chris Klemens, or if you're one of my Clementines, welcome back to the dysfunction that is my channel. Dysfunction indeed, because I'm doing something I thought I would never be doing, and that's interviewing a politician. Oh boy, this is gonna go only poorly. I don't know how, I don't know why, and I don't know whomst, but I am about to get on a Skype call. Yeah, fuck Zoom. But I'm about to get on a Skype call with Andrew Yang, an American entrepreneur. Jesus Christ, I can't even say entrepreneur. Oh my god, someone get me to Alexis Rand's Instagram page so I can see how to say entrepreneur. Andrew Yang is an American entrepreneur. I don't know why I'm sounding like fucking... This is gonna go so bad. We should have practiced not the lighting, the talking. Andrew is an American entrepreneur and also a former presidential candidate in the last Democratic nominee election. I was just about to say I don't know that much about politics, but that is... It's starting? Oh my god, okay. Hold on, I think we're getting everything set up. Look at us just clapping together.
Hey Chris, how are you?
I'm doing well, how are you?
Also good. Why say I'm 2020 good? Because everything is terrible, but I'm good for terrible, you know what I mean?
Not necessarily, I actually have no idea, but I'm excited for that energy. Now I do have to ask, have you actually watched my videos?
I am a very diligent guest, Chris.
I got that Andrew Yang AdSense.
I watched some of your videos just to see what was going on, and I admired them. You know, you're good at what you do, great at what you do. I'm actually wondering the opposite. Is like, did you feel like you had to watch Andrew Yang videos?
Well, no, I didn't watch any Andrew Yang videos, if I'm being perfectly honest. I did research you though. How do you pronounce where you're from? I promise the questions will not be this awful, but how do you pronounce the town in New York you're from?
Schenectady.
What?
Schenectady was where I was born, in upstate New York.
Schenectady. I still am saying it wrong, but I was also struggling with the word entrepreneur earlier, so it's not my day, I don't think. Well, you saw some of my videos, and as you probably saw, I dedicate my videos to different organizations, causes, small businesses, kind of things that just need our attention. And I thought today, before we got into everything, it would be really cool for you to come with your own dedication for this video. What do you have for us? What do you want to dedicate this interview to?
Heck yes. I started a nonprofit myself called Humanity Forward, and we are doing a bunch of things, but the main thing we're doing right now is giving people money.
Oh my god, wait, where do I sign up?
Right now we have something called the 1K Project, where donors donate to a specific family. You can see the family that's going to get the money, and then the family gets $1,000 a month for 3 months, and we match every donation dollar for dollar up to $1 million.
Amazing. Guys, I'm going to leave the link down below. Andrew and I will coordinate of what that link is. Go be sure to donate, go get involved, and make sure you are registering to vote and you are going out and voting. And if you're mailing in by voting, that you're selecting that you're mailing by vote, or you're voting by mail, and then make sure you mail it out by like October 18th, because our current president doesn't want you to vote.
We need you to get animated enough to help vote Joe and Kamala in the hopes that we can then turn things around. And that's a very big ask, because if you feel excluded, then it actually takes a bit of a leap for you to say, okay, I'm going to give these folks a chance. The alternative is 4 more years of this asshole. And we...
Oh, I love that you're also cussing this early, and by this early, I guess it's fully the afternoon for you. How's your quarantine going? That's a stupid question. Forget I asked it, forget I was like born. So you obviously like ran for president. From the time that your campaign ended, what have you kind of realized in the time away that, oh, I wish I did that differently, or, oh, I wish that was a stance I took differently because I now have X, Y, and Z viewpoint? Do you have anything like that?
Well, the main takeaway is that people are really hungry for some kind of change. And folks didn't think that I was going to do as well as I did. I went through a lot of these issues too, Chris, in a way that I think makes me understand them. So I grew up child of immigrants, but I had a real conviction and certainty that many Americans feel left out of politics today, and that they're waiting for a different kind of choice, different set of candidates. And this is true particularly for young people who I assume are many of your subscribers. If you're a young person, you look up and you think, these politicians are lame. They're not speaking to me. Their average age seems to be like 40 years older than me.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's such an intimidating thing, which I definitely want to get into in a minute.
And we have to make it relevant for young people. And what I say to young people is that we've left you a god-awful mess, and we need your help to clean it up. And that's not fair because you didn't make the mess. But
honestly, as a young person, like, thanks for the honesty and the transparency of like, yeah, we left you guys a fucking dump.
We've made everything less and less accessible, less and less affordable, including education. I mean, education, gosh, it's gone up 250%.
Yeah, my student debt is calling and I am not answering that phone.
The fact that our government doesn't seem to work so well, I mean, that...
Or at all. I mean, what are we talking about?
We need to unfuck the young people because we're just screwing them up so badly, leaving you like a house of cards.
You're leaving us with like a house of cards and an awful TikTok dance that I'll never learn. Speaking of, is Trump able to ban TikTok?
So what's happening is the government has an unclear level of authority when it comes to, let's say, foreign companies operating. One thing that the government does have a fairly good ability to do is to either encourage or discourage mergers and acquisitions of different kinds. So I think they set up a deadline for Microsoft to buy TikTok.
Gotcha.
And that is generally within bounds. So that's what I expect to happen.
Got it. Speaking of the Trumps, this is a hard-hitting one. Do you think that Melania is a robot?
I like to meet someone before I determine whether they're a robot. I do like the human robot test on them. I need to have met her to be able to tell you.
Gotcha. Okay. Because like Ivanka definitely is, right? Like, for sure.
I know someone who saw Ivanka relatively recently, and
was she holding a can of Goya beans?
They attested to her being human, so...
Oh my god, wow. My mind is blown. You are an advocate and you believe in the youth and young people. As someone who has a career because of young people, are you ever scared of like being canceled? As a politician and someone who has to have a very distinct stance, I guess this is like literally a self-serving question. I'm like, how do you do it?
Wow, I hadn't been asked that. When I started out, because I was an anonymous civilian when I started, there was a period of time when I did interviews when the main impulse in my head was like, just don't say anything super stupid.
Yeah.
or
no, literally.
But in my case, you did enough interviews and you didn't say anything that made everyone hate you, and then you kind of forget about it. And it turns out it's not very natural for me to say something that will make everyone hate me.
For sure, and I feel that way also. But like, I guess I just have like the constant paranoia of like, oh my god, what if this gets taken the wrong way or gets taken out of context or something like that. I think I don't know. Maybe you just literally have a better like grasp on your mental health, which is very possible.
I'm very passionate about mental health issues generally. And I will say, Chris, I've said a few things that people, at least some subset of people, found problematic. The first time it happened, I did feel very like, oh no, like people don't like what I said or don't like me. So then there was an impulse I had to try and clarify or defend myself. But then in the pace of a presidential campaign, sort of like that day passed and then another day happens and then another day happens. You realize you're going to survive. Let's put it that way.
You kind of touched on this earlier, that politics is kind of sad and draining right now, especially with the election. How would you encourage people to not only register, but also either go out and vote or vote by mail?
If everyone watching this, first got to make sure and register yourself, figure out the voting rules, vote by mail in your state. But then the second thing is there are certain states we all know that are more contested than others. So what you should do is you should just try and identify one friend in a swing state. So that's Ohio, Florida,
God,
Pennsylvania.
That is so great.
And call them up or email them or Facebook DM them or Instagram message them.
I don't
or
think
Snap
any young people are doing Facebook messaging, just for your record. Like, nix that one from the list.
I'm for lowering the voting age to 16. I think 16-year-olds should be able to vote because you can drive a car, you can work, you can pay taxes. So shouldn't you be able to vote?
Whoa, I have never thought about the whole tax. Like, I was fully paying taxes at 16. Which brings me into my hot take. Don't you think there should be a voting maximum age? No offense, Betsy from down the street. I don't want you casting your fucking racist vote. Like, you're dead in 2 years anyway, tops. Now, what advice, like, I keep feeling like I'm talking to you like Gwyneth Paltrow. Like, what advice do you have? But, like, what advice do you have for people who get written off because they're 16? Why should you know what you're talking about? I'm 26 and I find it very intimidating.
Well, one thing I can say with authority is that if a young person, let's say a 16-year-old, identifies a candidate in your community at any level, school board, city council, mayor, and then you reach out to them and say, hey, I'm interested in helping out, there are not that many people that will reach out to a campaign to do that. And so the campaign will jump for joy and be like, that would be incredible. And then they'll, give you things to do you can make a big difference on very quickly. This is something I feel really strongly about is, like, if you're a young person right now, the world is not in a good place. But one of the things that helps us all feel stronger and more valued is finding people that need a hand that we can provide. It makes us feel valued and valuable.
Yeah, it feels good on a selfish level.
So someone watching this being like, look, I'm really, really selfish. Helping people can be very selfish.
We're pitching empathy to selfish people. Now, before we get into the convention, do you think that people like Donald Trump or Mike Pence or Bitch McConnell would benefit greatly from smoking marijuana? I guess what I'm asking, are you pro-marijuana?
I'm pro-marijuana. I think it should be fully legal. You know, it'd be funny. It's like, is Andrew Yang pro-marijuana? I bet he is.
I didn't want to jump to conclusions, but you seem pretty cool, so...
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
And I think marijuana would be a massive upgrade for certainly many of our political figures, but it's also a massive upgrade over some of the other things that people are doing to medicate various conditions.
Yeah, I mean, I literally have my vape pen stage left. You are actually going to be speaking at the Democratic National Convention, correct? It's here. The convention's here, guys.
Thursday night. Yeah, 9 p.m. I'll be on the docket. I'm very excited about it. Thank you, Yang Gang. I don't know. There's like this whole, lead up to it, but yeah, I'll be there.
They have quite the lineup of musical guests. John Legend. Who else? The Chicks. Billie Eilish. Do you have any surprises for us up your sleeve? Do you have Kylie Jenner going to be walking down a hallway for no reason?
Nothing like that. I'm just going to be making the same kind of case I'm making right now, which is that young people need to vote for Joe and Kamala and give them and us a chance to turn the page on this chapter in American history.
I have seen on Twitter and whatnot that a lot of people feel a certain type of way with Kamala being picked as the VP. With this need to unite and vote Trump out of office, how would you explain that to someone who feels turned off by that?
There are a lot of people who supported me, and I tell them now we need to support Joe and Kamala. Like, even if they weren't your top choice candidate, obviously I was my own top choice.
Yeah, let's hope so.
but then you have to realize right now we're getting presented a choice between Donald Trump and Mike Pence and Joe and Kamala. And to me, that's a very, very clear choice. It's okay to do things that you're, let's say, like not 100% like excited about before the fact, you adjust, you adapt. Right now, the adaptation we need is for folks to vote the current team out of the White House and get a new team in there.
Speaking of that, are you going to be on the team? Are there any spoilers? You could maybe give this video a couple hundred extra thousand views or something.
Well, I'm certainly on the team fighting for Joe and Kamala in the fall, in November. And then hopefully I'm on a team trying to solve some of the problems that affect young people and the entire country.
Love that beautifully vague answer. Thank you so much. Is there anything from your platform that you hope that Joe and Kamala kind of bring into theirs?
Everyone knows I'm for universal basic income, which is everyone getting a certain amount of money every month.
Yeah, it's like what Donald Trump just did during the pandemic, but less money. He gave out less money, just for the record.
So Kamala came out for a cash relief bill that's very, very similar. So if there's anything I hope that Joe and Kamala take, and Kamala's already on board with a version of it, it is universal basic income.
Well, that's all the questions I have here. Is there anything you want to ask me? You're like, nope.
Well, no, it's really just thank you, Chris, for your activism, for your creativity, for your humanity. You're a voice for a lot of people, and we need to come together and help your generation and the people younger than you you're going to inherit this country, this planet, and we need to whip it into shape for you.
Yeah, don't remind us of that burden, please.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, we don't need to be reminded. Well, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to go check out the links down below to donate and to register to vote. Thank you so much, Andrew Yang, for being here. Be sure to tune in to the Democratic National Convention, where you'll see him talk Thursday night. I don't know why this suddenly sounded like CNN, but back to you, Janet. And I've never been able to say that on my channel without it feeling more appropriate. So, ta-da!
Bye, everyone. Bye, Chris. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you so much.
I'm so glad, Chris. Really. I did watch your videos, admire your work, and yeah, you are a voice for a lot of people. That's why you're so popular.
Thank you. Oh my God, that is so nice to hear. And I appreciate everything you're doing as well. And just keep on fighting the fight for us.
Stay healthy, stay well, and hopefully we'll have a good outcome come November, and we'll have played a part, you and me.
For sure, for sure. If you're ever in LA, let me know.
I will. I'll follow you on Twitter right now, too.
Oh my God, perfect. I'll follow you back.
All right. Thanks, Chris.
Bye. Thank you.